What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? This is the British Creed, and I'm here to give you a review. So, if you haven't watched Matt's recent video, he said I'd be making a review for Arkham Knight, and that is what I will be doing today. So, let's all get started. Now, I want to say that the first half of this video will be spoiler-free. See, there are things that I want to talk about in detail, but obviously I want to make sure that I make a review for everyone, so the second half of this video will be all spoilers. So how it's going to work is I do the first half, and then I give it a rating, and then I go into spoilers into detail. So you can stay along if you want to do that, but if you don't want any spoilers, you haven't played Batman Arkham Knight, don't go any further, just watch the first half of this video. Okay, so Arkham Knight is really good. It is a really good game. I will be honest. I didn't hype myself for this game. I will be honest, because I was really worried. Especially a fourth game in the series. I usually get worried. I'm such a big fan of the Arkham series. Arkham City is one of my favorite games, and one of the games I mostly remember whenever I think of my top 10 favorite games of all time. And Arkham Origins, which people say is bad, personally, I think it's really, really good. I think an attempt at an origin story of how Batman meets all these villains, I think it was very well set up and very well done. So anyway, let's get to the review. So the graphics of the game, I will be honest, are amazing. The first part of the game, where you play in a first-person view of the cop and you're sitting on the table and that lady comes over to you and asks for a drink, and the facial capture, it was just so real. It looked really real, like nearly as good as LA Noire. If you haven't seen that, that is some of the best facial capture I've ever seen. But it was like, with the such stellar graphics and such amazing face capture, it was just the game generally looks really good. All round, the rain effects look amazing. I've heard they look better on PC, but there obviously are problems with the PC port at the moment, only locked at 30 frames per second. Not sure if they fixed that yet. But all round graphics are great, no matter which platform you play on. But I do recommend that you play this game on consoles, because the PC version is currently being pulled off Steam because it literally does not work. Some people say it works, most of the people say it doesn't. So, sound and voice acting, I will say that it's great. I do like the sound in Arkham City more. I really like that, the music in that. Don't know why, it's just a bit more dramatic for me. Especially at the opening sequence with the press the menu. There's no real music for the menu in Arkham Knight, but definitely for Arkham City with the with those rising voices, very, very good. The voice acting is all great, and I feel like I can't believe the Batman his voice actor is back to play as him again. I was kind of wondering during Arkham Origins, why weren't Joker and the original Batman voices from the previous Arkham games coming back? And well, your answer's here. It's because of this game. They were probably recording it during the time of the development of Origins. So, anyways, the voice acting is all good. Penguin's is still really rubbish, in my opinion. I've never really liked Penguin's one, the Cockney accent. Actually, the game makes fun of that quite a lot. It's kind of funny, actually. I think some goons say, "Oh, I think he puts on the accent. It sounds really stupid." Or I think Nightwing makes fun of it, and generally it's probably because the public I think nearly all the reviews for Arkham City, people are like, "Ah, damn it, he sounds so rubbish." But anyways, I'm thinking Angry Joe even said that. So, let's get to the gameplay. So, the Batmobile was now introduced, and what can I say about the Batmobile? It is amazing. Some people are having problems driving it, saying that it's really hard to drive. Really, I've had no problems. Every now and then when I'm turning a corner, it just kind of has its own... It kind of takes over the wheel, and then it slides further than you want it to. It's like, why? No! You kind of But overall, I think the handling is really smooth for this game. It's really nicely done for driving physics. For Rocksteady's like first attempt at a Batmobile and the driving physics, I generally think this is one of the best experiences of the Batmobile in any Batman game. Even the Batman Begins game, the best part of that game, I think, was the Batmobile scene where you get to play in the Tumbler. But this definitely beats it. Then you've also got a new battle mode for the Batmobile. But I will be honest, I will go into that later because there are some things that I'm not too big a fan of about that. But I'll go into a bit later. Batman gliding around the city, it's a lot of fun. And you've got more upgrades, so then, you know, when you got the double grapple hook, so if you double pressed A or space or X on the controller keyboard, you'd do a boost and you fly in the air. Well, you can now upgrade that to ×4, and you go flying in the air. You are super fast. I think it's even better to get around that way than the Batmobile in a way. And I think it's really great. Everything's solid. The combat is solid as well. But this time they've added the inclusion of picking up items, so basically you press a combo and you pick up a bat and you just smack everyone with it. Or you can smack enemies into electric fences, lights, you can smash lights on them, you can smash them in lights and electrify them. It's mostly to do with electrifying them. And realistically, they should be dead, but this game says they're not. Like when I see Batman pull off these environmental attacks, it's kind of like, oh, are you sure he's alive? I kept on throwing jokes like, oh, still alive, you know. And there was one where you can freeze someone, where you throw them in a cryo thing. It was like a one-time opportunity to do that, and I did it, and I was like, are you really sure he's still alive? I'm pretty sure he'd be dead. But anyways, it's a game about a man who's a Batman who drives around in a tank, so I guess I can accept that. To be honest, it's all the same, really, with the gameplay. Nothing really changes. There are some few new gadgets, but overall, the gadgets are really all the same. I think there's only a few differences with the gadgets. There's this gun called the Disruptor, which obviously it takes down ammo crates or puts traps on them. So when enemies go and pick up a gun, it will explode in them. You can take out healers with it. It's actually quite OP, overpowered for what it is, but it's actually one of my favorite items to use. So I would like to go into the story, and the story, how do I put this? I think it started off really well with the introduction and everything, but overall the story is it's really put far behind in everything else, because the story is pretty good. I think it's pretty good, and the way they ended the quadology, or whatever you want to call it, is very good. I think the ending was sort of what I expected, because if you haven't been watching the trailers, there's this guy who voices over saying this is how the Batman dies. And I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but the ending, it's a very good way to end the series as a whole, if we're ever going to get it. And I don't know what Rocksteady are doing now, but I hope it's still in the DC universe, because I think they really help. And since Warner Bros. Usually publish their stuff, I think they'll be carrying on with a lot of DC-related things. But anyways, moving away from what I think. The story is good. Scarecrow was amazing. I think him as a character, his really creepy voice, the way he acts, how he speaks, how he gets to Bruce. And this game is a lot about Bruce. You know, it's a lot about what's not Batman. It's the human inside him, who he really is. And I think this game really strikes that really well. It's a really personal story about Bruce Wayne and everything that's happened in his past, and how he controls everything, especially when you get induced by fear. And I think the ending of how he controls everything is it's very well done. And overall it's great. And finally, the side quests for this game, well, how do I put it? The side quests are okay. I generally think the Riddler side quests is the best one, where you play as Catwoman and Batman. Basically, you solve some riddles. You do some racetracks, and I will be honest, the racetracks are really, really, really fun. I have a lot of enjoyment with the racetracks. I think they're great. There's only 3 that I've played at the moment, and overall, I think they're great. Very well designed. The 3rd one was quite challenging. I was trying to do it within the time limit, and I can definitely say it's really challenging. And the Riddler is back, of course, and he's doing his things again. You got to get all his Riddler trophies. There's like 280 or something. It's a crazy amount, and some of them are really difficult. I've been trying to do some, and they're really, really challenging. Just moving along, my favorite aspect of the Arkham games has always been the detectiveness, actually solving things. And in Arkham Origins, they added the reconstruction ability, and I thought that was really cool. I felt that really improved the experience, and they brought it into here, and I can definitely say that it's really good. There's this one of my favorite moments is with the car crash. I won't give anything away, but there's a car crash, and you must solve what's happened to get the answers you need, and it's great. It's a lot of fun when you figure it all out. It's so clever. It's great. So overall, I think this game is basically a slight improvement from everything. It does feel very samey. It does, and a game to meet all my expectations. That's really good for me. I'm glad I didn't hype it up, because I probably wouldn't have liked it much. So, I'm going to go into the negatives now of what I don't like. I won't go into as much detail, but the Arkham Knight. I know, as this character, as you see him and meet him, he's really annoying. You hate him. It's like, why? What is he doing? How does he know so much about me? And then he gets revealed, and it's so predictable. I won't go into why, but there are scenes where, it's sort of hinted at who he is early on, and then it keeps on going. These hints like, oh, look at this flashback, look at this flashback. Oh, this is who he could be, and then and it's like the game's basically feeding you who it is, and when you finally get the big reveal, it's kind of like, well, I know, So Arkham Knight, it fizzles. It definitely fizzles the whole mystery, but I definitely think he's a great character overall. So as I said, I would get into the battle mode of it all, and I will honestly say that the battle mode, it gets tedious and it's annoying, because every time you're driving around, there will be these bots, the Arkham Knight's robot vehicles, and you have to fight them sometimes, and you have to. And there's this one part of the game where you have to get out of GCPD, and there's like a million of them. There was like 40, 50, I think even more than that. And you've got to fight them all, and you're dodging all of them. And it's just so hard, and it gets frustrating. And the recharge on the gun, it's so... and I don't enjoy it. It wasn't enjoyable for me after a while. I mean, at first it's brilliant. You're like, oh yeah, I'm a tank, And then it goes on and on and on, and the inclusion of the Batmobile is nearly in everything. Now, the inclusion of the Batman in puzzles is possibly not a good idea. It's not really fun, I must say, and it gets really, really annoying when you fall off edges, because the Batmobile will break everything in its path. Walls, concrete, lamps, everything. And there was a part where you've got to slowly go across this narrow platform, and it's like if you move like an inch to the left or right, you are falling off. And the amount of times I fell off trying to attempt to do it, it just frustrated me. So overall, I feel like the Batmobile as a tool for puzzles is a bad idea, and I think it shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. But overall, that's really the only negatives I have. Other than some of the side quests are really not that creative. There's one where you must jump or chase characters on, jump on a character to or chase them in the Batmobile. I think there's like 5 side quests where you have to use the Batmobile, and it's kind of annoying. Um, but overall, I think that it's good. So, without further ado, I will give it the final verdict, and the game will be an 8 out of 10. Yes, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 because the Batmobile battle mode and puzzle solving is really annoying, and the reveal of the Arkham Knight was quite disappointing in my opinion. But overall, I feel it's a great game. My favorite, I prefer Arkham City more. I definitely do. And really, if you haven't played this series, definitely pick it up, because this is really looking to be the last of the series, especially by the ending. But I won't give too much away. Hopefully I haven't. But if you haven't been hearing, this is confirmed that this will be the last one that Rocksteady makes. But it doesn't very look likely that they can make anyone can make another. But overall, it's a great game. It's a must-have in my opinion. If you can pick it up, I would recommend paying full price. I wouldn't mind. You definitely get your money's worth. But that season pass, don't get it because right now we have no idea what we're getting with that. We've been told that we get something a month, like skins, racetracks, and a Batgirl DLC, and that's not really enough for me to warrant a buy at the moment. But overall, this is an amazing game and an amazing ending to a trilogy, so definitely pick it up.